think needs to be filled, and a Centurion core. You combine those 4 items inside the box, and then you pull the lever, and bam, you have a Daedric weapon or piece of armor that is equivalent to the ebony piece that you started with. Now there's also a way to get a random piece of Daedric armor with a random enchantment on it, and this one actually is the only this and the version of this that affects weapons are the only 2 that require filled soul gems. And to do that, you need just an ebony ingot instead of an actual ebony piece of equipment. You need just an ebony ingot, then a Daedra heart, and void salts, and then a filled soul gem, greater, grand, or black. And then you can do a Daedric weapon, roughly the same. Random weapon, random enchantment, ebony ingot, Daedra heart, same as the armor. And instead of void salts, it's a silver sword, and then a filled soul gem. So it seems like to do some of this stuff, I'm going to need some filled soul gems. And I believe there's one other requirement, too, that I might be just under. I think I have to have a certain level of conjuration spell, or conjuration skill. Let me just peek at where my skill is now. I want to say I remember 90, so I'm not quite there yet. Let me see. I think I've got enough to make this this random Daedric armor, so let's see here. In the box, I want to place an ebony ingot. I have 2. There's 1 ebony ingot. I want to place a Daedra heart. I think I have 2 of those. Those were expensive from Inther. Void salts. And then a filled soul gem, greater, grand, or black. Now, since I have a feeling that the enchantment strength is going to be somewhat based on the soul gem's level, I'm going to go ahead and do the 1 black soul gem that I have. I may try to test this again directly afterwards, because I know I've got the materials to do a second one. I may test it again directly afterwards using just a greater soul to see if I can notice a big difference in the enchantment, just to see if the soul gem enchantment level does make a difference. Okay, so let's take a peek at what all we got. Ebony ingot, void salts, Daedra heart, and a black soul gem. That should make me a random piece of Daedric armor with random enchantment. Here we go. Pull bar. Nothing? You lack the required item. Ah, I need a sigil. That's right. So I don't get the sigil until I've got 90 conjuration, which is pretty high. Let's go ahead and take my items back. Okay, well, there's a little introduction to the forge anyway. I think I'm going to go do some soul hunting and show a little bit of information about where you can get what level souls using soul trap on different various creatures. And maybe try to find a way to level my conjuration up 5 trains if I can, and then likely see if I can just grind it out to 90 and come back with a higher conjuration skill, because I'd really like to detail the extent of the Atronach forge right here all together. So let's see what I can find first. Note as I find one, I have a way more significant find than this to detail in just a second. But cave bears have common souls. I believe all of the cave bears provide a common soul. So let's go see that. I had no filled soul gems on me a second ago. There's 1 common soul. I believe this was just like a cave bear. There's below this there's bear, and above this there's snow bear. And I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are common level souls. Hopefully I'm going to find a bit of my more significant piece of information, though, in just a second. Another one, as I happen to run into him. Saber cats, I think, again, are common souls. Little one just for... Oh, he got hurt. So, let me just see that to be sure. Oh, lesser. That's crappy. So, no, the saber cat was actually a lesser soul. Bears, more jazzy than saber cats. They got more soul. Crikey! Look at that beauty there! That is a woolly mammoth. So the discovery I've made is that woolly mammoths bear grand souls. So, I'm going to do some mammoth hunting. Anytime you hunt mammoths, you'll generally have to face a giant. I have found that giants are incredibly good. Shoot it right in front of him. Are incredibly good at killing the Dremor Lord. Giants are really powerful. That spell looks weird. Does that spell look weird to you guys? Looks like it's got purple on it. I'm not going to pop the soul trap quite yet. Actually, that mammoth's taking a lot of damage. Maybe I can go ahead and sink the butt. And let me get a fire breath across here, and this mammoth should be down. Oh, I think my graphics are glitched again. I think I've got the no flame graphic going on. And I think that's making my Incinerate look weird. My Incinerate looks like it's got purple in it. Hold on, I'm going to throw it again here in just a second. Get the Dremor Lord out, create some distance, the giant and the mammoth. That mammoth's going to go down fast. Yeah, actually. My soul trap lasts quite a while. I want to say it's like 60 seconds. Alright, here, watch this Incinerate. Yeah, it's purple. That's so weird. Sorry, Mule, you're going to have to face off with that giant for a second. Alright, I smacked 2 elephants. I'm going to go ahead and do the soul trap on the giant, but the giant actually has a greater soul. He's not a great target for your soul trap. Well, greater's a good soul, don't get me wrong. I mean, just because they're so close to mammoths, I mean, if you got a soul trap one or the other, you're better off going with the mammoth, because the mammoth has an amazing soul. Okay, here, check this out. I just got 3 souls. You guys saw what I had before, that 1 common and the 1 lesser. That's the bear, that's the saber cat. 2 grand, those 2 mammoths I just killed, and a greater. The greater is the giant. So, grand souls. Mammoths have grand souls. Mammoths are incredibly common. So to take a look at the map, I just fast traveled to some area I had over here, and then on my compass, I got this mammoth head symbol that you see up at the top there. And anywhere you see that mammoth head symbol, like here's one, and way over here's one, are giant camps. There's one right in the middle too. There are mammoths and giants that roam this entire middle area here. So this is Whiterun, you see, and this entire low basin area. Mammoths and giants are all over it, and they provide awesome souls. I think I'm going to poke around just a little bit more, take a look at a couple other creatures, and show off what kind of souls they give. Okay, here actually, before I even cut it, let me see. I've got 2 bandits here. Do I have any black souls? Okay, so I don't have any black soul gems, so I can't capture their souls. That's too bad. Human souls, I should say like the races that you can pick in the game. If any of them die and you soul trap them, they have to go into a black soul gem. You can't capture them any other way. Let's give them a fireball, kind of out here in the back. Yeah, they didn't like that. That was basically 1 fireball and a couple whacks from some followers. Alright, so in search of more souls. You guys can see I now have a petty soul gem as well. Any creatures that don't attack you, rabbits, foxes, deer, elk, moose, whatever those other things are that you see, any of those creatures all have petty souls. The guide says that petty soul gems are really only useful for recharging items because they don't give you much enchanting level up, but where I am with enchanting, my enchanting is like 98. I'm really getting close to 100. And I've got this bottom perk maxed out, 5 for 5. And then I've also got these other 2 perks. I just don't quite have the very top one yet. With just this setup right here, the Paralyze Weapon enchant, it's so far the most valuable enchantment I've found. The Paralyze Weapon enchant on an Iron Dagger with a Petty Soul will still give me like 300 gold value daggers. And then I'm going to spam out Iron Daggers, getting my smithing up. Per the amount of experience that you get in smithing, Iron Daggers are the fastest for leveling you up as far as material cost goes, because they only cost 1 iron ingot and 1 leather strip. And you can basically, especially if you have a lot of these petty souls, you can enter Whiterun. Let me see, there's something I was heading to, yeah. I want to get this discovered. You can enter Whiterun. You can buy. There are 3 smiths technically in Whiterun. You can buy all the iron ingots and leather strips, or enough leather and leather strips to make equal amounts of leather strips. to make enough daggers, so equal amounts to the iron ingots that you're buying. You can buy out all of that, make daggers out of all of it, and then if you have a bunch of petty soul gems, you can go turn it all into 300 gold daggers with decent enchanting skill, and if you have the paralyze enchant, and then just get all your money right back and then plus some. A matter of fact, like you guys saw me when I was at like 3,000 gold, I had a lot of iron daggers and I had a lot of soul gems that I hadn't used up in a while, but I easily got on basically just iron daggers like 10k gold in about, I don't know, 30 minutes of playing here between recording. So yeah, petty souls, like, don't underestimate them. Petty souls are great. You can do enchants with petty souls. You can get some leveling up off of it, and you can make some really cheap items worth way more than they should be worth. So I highly recommend it. I'm gonna snatch me a giant soul here. Actually, let's go ahead and get the Lord out. We're going to try to keep him stunned. I am kind of low on mana, so I'm going to go with the just continuous stun. Let my Moro take most of it. Get one last soul trap on him because I think that first one was too early. And there's another greater soul. Okay, so let's see. Common, lesser, petty, and greater. I think I've shown decent examples of all the creatures. Let me cut camera real quick and see if there's any other creature I should hunt out and kind of show off. Okay, I don't think I'm actually going to hunt a lot of these out because a lot of them are real common. You probably all know what they look like, but let me go ahead and list them out. Skeevers are petty. The lowest variety of mud crabs, petty. Slaughterfish are petty. Wolves, and again, saber cats. And the other variety of mud crabs are all lesser. Horker are lesser. Ice wraiths are lesser. Bears are common. Deer, elk, goat, hare, fox, snow fox are all petty. Mammoth are grand. Charis are lesser. However, Charis Reaper are common. Dragons, undead, automatons, and one other thing. What was it? Oh, Daedra, any kind of summoned anything, cannot be soul trapped, so they don't have souls. Falmer range from lesser to common, pretty predictably. Most Falmer are common, a couple of the real weak ones are lesser. And then there are Shadow Masters, who are normally greater, and when they are boss Shadow Masters, which I'm not even exactly sure what that means, but the guide makes a distinction. If they are boss Shadow Masters, they are grand souls. Most spiders are lesser, however the giant spider, the absolutely biggest one, is common. Giants are greater, and hog ravens are common. And I think that about does it for all of the souls that are not humanoid, which have to go, again, in a black soul gem. Alright, so now let's see. I am at a conjuration skill that is beyond Finis Jester's his maximum level of training. So Finis in the College of Winterhold can't train my conjuration any higher. And I've got enough gold that I can spam some of it out. No, not Morthal. I actually want to go to Dawnstar. Dawnstar, there's a gentleman living there named Fallion who has a museum of sorts. And he actually starts a Daedra quest, but that's not going to be why I come to see him. I'm going to come to see him to train in Conjuration. If you ask Finis, he mentions Fallion's name, although I don't think he says he's in Dawnstar. He leaves a little bit mysterious for you. And his house is the last one over on that other side of this horseshoe pond here. Or horseshoe inlet. Whoa, look at that glitch. See that water? What is that in the water? Is that the cage? That's the cage from the loading screen. See it in the water? That is insane. That's kind of cool looking, actually. Medina? I'm not interested in her. I'm interested in
my first visitor.
Fallion.
The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend.
I'm gonna try to just walk away from him.
But if you change your mind,
Maybe I was wrong. This isn't. Is this? I think this is where Fallion lives. Hold on.
You should probably be in bed.
Huh. It might be Morthal now that I think of it. Okay, let me redouble my efforts. I'm actually probably going to find his house and then turn the camera back on. Sure enough, I found it. Okay, so here I am in Dawnstar. I fast traveled to it. It is one of the major holes. I'm sorry. I came from Dawnstar. Oh man, let me get my head straight here. I came to Morthal. Morthal is one of the major holds. When you fast travel in, you come right over there. That's the Jarl's Longhouse. Out on this dock on